The message came without warning. At 4:12 a.m., every screen on Earth, every phone, every TV, every billboard turned black. People thought it was a global power failure. But before anyone could react, a deep voice echoed across the planet. A voice that was not human. This is the Zoltran Empire. Earth is now surrounded. You have 12,000 warships above your world. Surrender or be erased. The word struck like thunder. All around the world, people ran outside and looked up at the sky. They expected to see stars. Instead, they saw shadows, huge shapes, glowing lights drifting across the clouds. Warships. Massive ones. Thousands of them. Some were shaped like long spears. Some like black triangles. Others like giant floating towers. They blocked the early morning sun, turning whole cities into dim gray. Humanity froze. And in the middle of this global shock, inside the Earth Defense Network headquarters, Commander Ryland Pierce stood silently, staring at the incoming data on the screens. Ryland was known for staying calm during impossible situations. But even he had never seen anything like this. 12,000 ships, one officer whispered. How can anyone fight that? Ryland didn't answer. He was focused, his eyes sharp, his mind racing. Satellite feeds came in, showing the alien fleet from different angles. The ships stretched over the horizon like an endless wall of metal. Their engines glowed blue. Their weapons hummed with a strange energy no human science could identify. Then the alien voice returned. You have 24 hours to choose. Kneel or be destroyed. The message repeated again and again, in every language known to Earth. People screamed in the streets. Cars crashed. Planes were grounded. Governments shut down. Every country tried to make contact, but the alien signal cut through all channels. The world was no longer in control. But Ryland, he refused to panic. Open global communication, he ordered. Tell all nations to stay calm. Tell them we're not surrendering. Not yet. His officers looked at him with fear and doubt. But Ryland had already made up his mind. Something about this arrival felt wrong. Too sudden, too bold. Aliens with 12,000 warships did not show up without reason. He turned to his second-in-command, Captain Mira Solis, a sharp and loyal officer. Mira, give me a list of all scientists, cybersecurity experts, and astrophysics teams we can gather within 1 hour. Mira blinked. Even civilian ones? All of them, Ryland said. We need every mind we have. As she hurried away, Ryland watched the screen again. A ship the size of a city drifted across. It was shaped like a crescent moon, glowing with red lines. A weapon? A command ship? A threat? Nobody knew. The alien fleet remained silent after the message, motionless, waiting, as if studying them. Ryland rubbed his jaw. You don't bring 12,000 ships unless you're scared of something, he murmured. Outside the command center, the world continued to panic. Millions fled their homes. Millions lined up in churches, mosques, temples. Others filmed the alien ships with their phones, crying or shouting or praying. But inside the Earth Defense HQ, Ryland prepared for something else. Not surrender, understanding. He was certain there was more behind this. While officers ran back and forth with updates, a young technician hurried to Ryland with wide, frightened eyes. Commander, we just lost full satellite control. All systems are dark. They shut everything. Ryland nodded slowly. Expected? Expected? The technician repeated, confused. These aliens want total fear, Ryland replied. They want us blind and weak. But fear is only useful if we accept it. At that moment, all screens in the HQ flickered. Officers gasped. A new message appeared. But this time it wasn't from Earth. A coded symbol glowed on the main display. Strange curves, sharp lines, a repeating pulse like a heartbeat. Mira rushed back in. Commander, that signal. It's coming from inside the alien fleet. The entire room fell silent. Put it on, Ryland said. The signal decrypted slowly, cracking open line by line. Then a voice, soft, urgent, alien, filled the room. Do not surrender. Earth must resist. I can help you, but you will not like the truth. Everyone stared at the speakers in shock. An alien was contacting them secretly. Ryland stepped forward. Identify yourself, he said clearly. A pause. Then the alien voice replied, I am Kale Rin. I am not your enemy. I am inside the Zoltran fleet, and time is running out. Ryland exchanged tense looks with Mira. Why are you contacting us? Ryland asked, because your world is in danger deeper than you understand. The Empire does not want your land or your oceans. They want something else. Something only humans have. Something we can never create. Ryland's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Kale Rin's voice lowered, as if he feared being heard. The Empire fears humanity, more than you fear us. The HQ fell into shocked silence. Why? Ryland demanded. What do we have that scares them? I cannot say yet. The truth is too dangerous. Then why contact us at all? Because the Empire will attack even if you surrender. 12,000 ships are not a warning. They are preparation. The room filled with whispers. Ryland leaned closer to the microphone. If what you say is true, then what happens in 24 hours? Kale Rin paused again. Then he spoke words that chilled everyone. Tonight at midnight, the Empire will test their weapon on one of your cities. To show power. To break your will. Mira gasped. Officers shouted. Panic rose. Ryland held up his hand. Quiet. He turned back to the signal. Which city? Unknown. They change the target every hour. Ryland clenched his fists. How do we stop it? I will send more instructions. But be ready. Your world's first test comes soon. Then the signal cut. The screen went black. The HQ stood frozen in silence. Ryland lowered his head. He understood the truth now. Earth had not been given a choice. The attack was coming. No matter what. And now, they had only hours left. Mira, he said softly, his voice hard with resolve, prepare the teams. Wake every leader. Alert every nation. Mira nodded. Fear replaced by determination. What do we tell them? She asked. Ryland turned, staring at the giant alien fleet glowing outside Earth's orbit. Tell them, he said, that tonight humanity must stand, because 12,000 warships are not here to watch. He stepped closer to the window. They're here to crush us. A final alert beeped on the screen. Incoming data from unknown source. Ryland's heart raced. Kale Rin had sent something else. And whatever it was, it would start the next chapter of Earth's fight for survival. The alert sound echoed through the Earth Defense HQ. Incoming data from unknown source. Every officer turned toward the main screen. Ryland felt his heartbeat grow faster. This had to be Kale Rin again. And if he was sending something so soon, then the danger was even closer than they thought. Open the file, Ryland ordered. The encrypted data cracked open slowly. Lines of strange symbols scrolled across the screen. Symbols no human had ever seen. Mira stepped closer. This is alien code, but it looks like it's guiding us somewhere. Ryland nodded. Kale Rin must be sending instructions. The code stopped, forming a map-like pattern. Lights blinked in different shapes, almost like star positions. What is this? An officer asked. Mira zoomed in. It's coordinates. But they're not coordinates from Earth system. They are coordinates from inside the alien fleet. The room fell silent. Kale Rin wasn't just helping. He was giving them a path inside the Zoltran warship network. Suddenly, the speakers clicked on again. The same soft alien voice returned. Commander Ryland, you must listen carefully. The Empire is preparing a strike. Their weapon will fire at midnight. You have less than 10 hours. Ryland stepped closer to the microphone. Kale Rin, what do these coordinates mean? They point to the secondary control nexus of the fleet. If you can disrupt it, you can delay the attack. Not stop it, but delay it. Ryland frowned. Why help us? If the Empire finds you, they will kill me. I know. Kale Rin's voice didn't shake, but there was a sadness in it. My people have followed the Empire for thousands of years. We conquered many worlds. But your world is different. Mira spoke carefully. What do you mean different? Kael'ren hesitated, then replied, Human minds are unpredictable. You hold a strength the Empire cannot copy, a strength we fear, a strength we wish we had. Ryland narrowed his eyes. Strength? What strength? Kael'ren didn't answer. Instead, he said something else. Earth is the first world that ever resisted. Even before the war began, your fear does not crush you. It only makes you think faster. Move faster. Fight harder. Ryland looked around the room. Every officer listened closely. Kael'ren continued. The Empire planned to conquer Earth for decades, but they delayed. They watched. They studied. They feared. Because humans fight even when they believe the battle is lost. A cold chill moved through the room. Ryland understood now. That was what the Empire feared. Not technology. Not weapons. Not numbers. Human will. Kael'ren, Ryland said, if the Empire fears us, then why attack now? The alien paused. Then he said something that shocked everyone. Because they think you are finally becoming too strong to control. Mira gasped. Too strong? We don't even have a space fleet. Strength does not always come from ships, Captain Mira Solis. It comes from unity, from spirit. And your world is changing quickly, faster than we expected. Officers looked at one another nervously. If aliens have been watching Earth for decades, what else did they know? Before Ryland could ask, Kael'ren continued. Listen carefully. The Empire's main weapon is charged to control Nexus. If you disrupt the Nexus, the beam will weaken. Not stop, but weaken enough for your world to survive the first strike. Ryland understood. Earth wasn't battling for victory. Earth was battling for extra hours. How do we disrupt the Nexus? Ryland asked. Kael'ren replied, I will guide you. But first, you must understand something important. The Empire has spies watching your planet. Spies hiding in your communication networks. If you plan openly, they will know. You must work quietly. Ryland nodded. We can manage that. But Kael'ren wasn't finished. The Empire already suspects I am helping you. They monitor all signals. I risk death each second I speak. So I will send data through hidden channels. You will know them by the symbol you saw earlier, the pulse symbol. Mira brought the symbol back onto the screen. The alien heartbeat. Soft, steady, marking danger. Ryland asked, Kael'ren, why betray your own people? For the first time, Kael'ren's voice wavered. Because not all of us agree with the Empire. Some of us, like me, have seen too many worlds burn, too many children cry, too many people kneel. I cannot watch another world fall. The room felt heavy. Even aliens had rebels. Commander Ryland, Kael'ren continued, you must gather your best minds. Scientists, hackers, engineers. The coordinates I sent lead to a weakness in the Nexus. If your people can find a way to send a disruptive signal, I can channel it through the fleet. Ryland stood tall. His voice grew firm. We will do our part, and we won't surrender. Kael'ren's voice softened. I know. That is why I chose you. Suddenly, loud alarms blared through the HQ. Commander! An officer shouted. The alien fleet is moving. Everyone rushed to their screens. Thousands of ships shifted into new positions. Lights brightened. Engines glowed red. Myra's voice shook. They're preparing for something. Ryland clenched his fists. Kael'ren, what's happening? The alien replied quickly, tension in his voice. The fleet is running a targeting test. This is not the attack, but it is the beginning. They are scanning potential cities. Which cities? Ryland demanded. Current scans include Tokyo, New Delhi, Paris, Mexico City, Lagos, and New York. Officers whispered in fear. Millions of people lived in those places. Kael'ren continued. The Empire will choose a target at the last possible second. You must be ready. Ryland turned to Mira. Begin quiet evacuations in all major cities. No panic. No alarms. Yes, Commander. Kael'ren added. One more thing. Ryland froze. Kael'ren's tone turned darker, almost fearful. The Empire's weapon is not like any weapon you know. It does not only destroy. It breaks the mind. Its steels will, and after the first strike, the Empire will broadcast a message that will make the survivors submit. Ryland felt the weight of Kale Rin's words settle over him like ice. Kale Rin, how do we stop that? By stopping the Nexus. If the Nexus falls, the weapon becomes unstable. It cannot fire cleanly. And if it cannot fire cleanly, your world has a chance. Ryland nodded. Then guide us. Kale Rin responded, I will send the next set of instructions soon. But I must go now. If they detect me, I will die. The signal cut instantly. Silence fell over the room. Mira turned to Ryland. Commander, what now? Ryland looked at the coordinates on the screen one last time. Now, he said, we gather our best. We prepare the signal. And we pray Kale Rin stays alive long enough to help us. Another alert beeped. Second data package received. Ryland drew a slow breath. The next step of the plan had arrived, and whatever it contained, it would shape Earth's chance of survival. The second data package slowly decrypted, filling the main screen with alien symbols. Everyone inside the Earth Defense HQ stood frozen. The first package had given them coordinates. This one felt different. Mira leaned closer. Commander, this is not a map. Ryland studied the screen. The symbols looked sharper, more complicated, moving in patterns that repeated like waves. It's a system layout, Ryland said quietly. Kale Rin is showing us the inside of the alien control nexus. Officers gathered around. One of the cybersecurity experts, an older man named Dr. Iden, adjusted his glasses. This is remarkable. Their network isn't digital. It's a hybrid of biology and energy patterns. Mira blinked. Biology? Like alive? Dr. Iden nodded. Partially. Their systems grow like roots. If you attack one part, the others react. Ryland stepped forward. Can we disrupt it? Dr. Iden hesitated. Maybe, but we need someone who can understand complex patterns quickly. Someone who can learn new systems fast. A voice from the back spoke up. I can try. Everyone turned. A thin girl with short hair and a backpack stepped into the room. She looked no older than 18. She wore a hoodie and carried a laptop full of stickers. Mira frowned. Who is she? Dr. Iden smiled proudly. This is Lena Torres, the best young hacker I've ever trained. She cracked 2 military firewalls at age 14. Legally, of course. Lena shrugged. Mostly legally. Ryland raised an eyebrow. Lena, do you understand what we're facing? She nodded seriously. Aliens. Warships. A network with living code. Honestly, it's awesome. Mira coughed. Terrifying. Not awesome. Lena grinned nervously. Terrifyingly awesome. Despite the tension, a few officers smiled. Even Ryland felt a tiny spark of hope. Lena, he said, this data came from Kale Rin, an alien who is helping us. Do you think you can use it to find a weakness? Lena opened her laptop and plugged into the main system. I can try, but I'll need total access. Ryland gave a firm nod. Granted. She cracked her knuckles and started typing. Lines of code poured across the screen, mixing with alien symbols. The room filled with clicking keys and quiet murmurs. Minutes passed. Then Lena gasped. Commander, I found something. Ryland moved closer. Show me. Lena zoomed in on a glowing point inside the alien system map. This spot right here, this node, is unstable. It connects every ship in the fleet. If we overload it, the control nexus will lose balance. Dr. Iden's eyes widened. She's right. The entire fleet uses that node for communication. If we hit it with a strong enough disruptive signal, the fleet could lose coordination. Ryland breathed slowly. How long would they be blind? A few minutes, Dr. Iden said. Maybe less. Minutes are enough to stop the first strike, Ryland replied. Suddenly the screen flickered. A new message appeared. Kale Rin's voice returned, hushed, breathless, scared. Commander Ryland, the Empire is moving faster than expected. Their final test is complete. The weapon will be fully charged in 6 hours. Ryland answered quickly. Kale Rin, we found a weakness in the Nexus. Kael'ren sounded relieved. Good. That node is their key pathway. If you disrupt it, the weapon's power will shake. It will not fire cleanly. You may save millions. But how do we send a signal into your network? Rylan asked. Kael'ren's answer shook the entire room. I will carry it myself. Mira stepped forward. Carry it? You mean physically? Yes. I can enter the node chamber on the flagship, but only if I hide my actions. My life will be at risk. Rylan frowned. Kael'ren, you've already risked enough. You don't have to. I do, Commander. I have seen your people. I have watched them stand even when hope dies. No other world fought like you. It is time someone fought with you. The room fell silent. Kael'ren continued. But you must hurry. Build the signal. Encode it with the pattern Lena discovered. Then transmit it to the secret channel I opened. I will take it from there. Kael'ren, Rylan said quietly, if they capture you, then I die with honor. Better than watching Earth burn. The signal cut abruptly. Mira swallowed hard. Commander, we have to do this fast. Rylan nodded. Then we start now. All around the HQ, teams began working. Engineers prepared equipment. Scientists studied the alien code. Soldiers guarded the doors. The air was filled with urgency. Lena stayed fixed at her laptop, her eyes sharp, her fingers moving fast. I'm building the virus, she said softly. It won't destroy anything. Just overload it. Dr. Iden added new patterns beside her. Try mixing their signal rhythm with human encryption. It will confuse their system. Lena nodded and typed faster. Rylan watched them closely. Hours passed. The alien fleet above Earth glowed brighter. The sky turned orange as their engines powered up. People across the world stood outside staring, crying, filming, praying. Humanity waited for midnight. And inside the HQ, the plan took shape. Lena leaned back suddenly. Commander, I think I did it. Everyone gathered around her laptop. A glowing symbol pulsated on the screen. The same pulse Kael'ren used to mark his messages. Mira gasped. That's the alien heartbeat symbol. Lena nodded. It's the perfect key. The virus is ready. Rylan stepped forward. Transmit it to Kael'ren's hidden channel. Lena clicked the final command. A beam of data streamed into the alien network. Sending, she said softly. The room waited in silence. Seconds passed. Then, signal delivered. Cheers erupted. But they died quickly as more alerts flashed. Myra's face went pale. Commander, the alien fleet just shifted again. All ships are charging weapons. The attack countdown has begun. Officers panicked. How long until midnight? Someone shouted. Mira checked the clock. 5.5 hours. Rylan inhaled slowly. Then part 4 begins now, he said. We prepare for the first strike, and we pray Kael'ren reaches a node in time. But before anyone could move, a new message popped onto the screen. Not from Kael'ren. Not from Earth systems. A deep, threatening voice filled the room. Earth has refused surrender. Your final hours begin. Prepare to witness the Empire's power. The message ended. Lights flickered. The warships tightened formation, and humanity stepped closer to the edge of destruction. The threatening message from the Empire faded from the screen, but its echo stayed in the minds of everyone inside Earth Defense HQ. The room felt heavier, like the air itself knew something terrible was coming. Mira stepped closer to Rylan. Commander, what do we do now? Rylan did not answer immediately. He watched the skies through the reinforced window. Far above the clouds, the alien fleet glowed like a ring of fire around the planet. Every ship pulsed with deadly energy. They're preparing the weapon, Rylan finally said. And Kael'ren hasn't sent a message yet. The silence that followed felt like a countdown. Lena looked up from her laptop, her voice cracking. Commander! Maybe the signal reached him, but he can't reply. Maybe he's already inside the node chamber. Dr. Iden nodded. Yes, communication might be blocked from his side. Mira exhaled shakily. So we just wait? No, Rylan said firmly. Waiting is the last thing we do. We prepare. All across the HQ, alarms started ringing. Officers ran down the hallways. Screens flashed red with warnings. The entire world went into emergency mode. Rylan issued the first order. Activate the global shelters. Signals were sent to every nation. Sirens echoed in cities, towns, and villages. People rushed underground, into bunkers, subway tunnels, or reinforced buildings. Families held hands. Children cried. Soldiers guided crowds. Even animals sensed danger. Earth was hiding, but not giving up. Back in HQ, engineers rushed to assemble the EMP towers, massive antenna-like devices that could create a protective barrier for a few seconds. Not enough to stop the alien fleet entirely, but maybe enough to reduce the damage. Lena tapped her keyboard nervously. Commander, I am tracking the alien weapon charge. They are building energy through their ships. It's like a giant circuit. How long until it fires? Rylan asked. Lena checked the numbers. Her face turned white. Less than 4 hours. Mira swallowed. If Kael'ren fails, Earth will be gone by sunrise. Rylan clenched his fists. He won't fail. He can't. But deep inside, a cold fear grew. Somewhere far beyond Earth, inside the alien flagship, Kael'ren moved through dark corridors. He looked exhausted, his breathing sharp, his skin flickering with weak light. His armor, made of glowing plates, had cracks from earlier struggles. He whispered to himself, just a little more for them. Alien guards patrolled everywhere. Kael'ren kept the shadows, his movements quick but quiet. He used maintenance shafts, narrow vents, and hidden paths only insiders would know. He reached a large door. A symbol glowed on it. The same symbol Earth saw. The network heartbeat. The node chamber, he whispered. Guards stood outside. Kael'ren closed his eyes and touched the device on his wrist. His body shimmered, turning semi-invisible. He stepped forward carefully. One guard sensed something. Kael'ren froze. The guard turned his head. But at that exact moment, a loud alarm sounded elsewhere in the ship, reporting a minor explosion. The guards rushed toward it. Kael'ren slipped into the chamber. Inside, the room was filled with swirling blue energy. Thick cables hung from the ceiling like roots. In the center stood the main node, an orb of glowing crystal, alive with pulses. Kael'ren felt fear. This was the heart of the Empire's control system. If he touched it wrong, it could kill him instantly. He tapped his wrist again. The small device projected the signal Earth had sent, the virus Lena created. It hovered like a spark of light. Kael'ren looked at it gently. For Earth, for freedom. He placed the signal into the node. The entire chamber shook. Energy raced through the roots like lightning. Kael'ren screamed as the shock threw him backward. His invisibility broke. Lights flashed red. He collapsed, weak but alive. Signal delivered, he whispered before darkness took him. Back on Earth, Lena gasped as data spiked across her screen. Commander, something just changed in their network. Rylan hurried to her. Is it Kael'ren? Yes. The node is destabilizing. Mira leaned over. Is the weapon shutting down? Lena stared at the numbers. Her lips trembled. Not shutting down, but unbalancing. The energy is misaligned. If they fire now, it won't be clean. It will scatter. Dr. Iden stepped forward. Scattered fire means weaker impact. How much weaker? Rylan asked. Iden hesitated. Maybe enough for Earth to survive. Rylan nodded slowly. That's all we needed. The HQ erupted with cautious hope. But then, the lights flickered. Every screen turned bright red. A deep rumble rolled through the sky. Mira pressed her earpiece. Commander, we're getting global reports. The alien fleet is shifting. They're adjusting power. They're gonna fire early. Early, Rylan repeated. How early? Lena checked her laptop. Her voice cracked. Commander, the Empire's firing the weapon in less than 30 minutes. The room went silent. Rylan's jaw tightened. Everyone to battle stations. This is it. Officers rushed. Mira stood firm beside him. If the beam is scattered, what will hit first? Everywhere, Rylan said, but not as strong. Still deadly, she whispered. He nodded. But survivable. The world darkened as alien ships tilted downward. Energy built between them, like a storm of light. Thunder-like vibrations shook the air, even before the first blast. People in bunkers held each other. Soldiers braced. Leaders prayed. In HQ, a circular hologram showed the incoming weapon growing brighter and brighter. Lena whispered, "Karen, please let your sacrifice work." Rylan gave the last order. Activate EMP towers. Across the world, giant towers powered up. Electric arcs shot in every direction. The air cracked like fireworks. Then, a giant beam of broken, scattered energy shot from the alien fleet. It split into dozens of smaller beams, raining toward Earth like falling stars. "Brace!" Rylan shouted. The ground trembled. Explosions tore across empty fields, oceans, deserts. Cities shook, but shields held some of the damage. The sky turned white for a moment, then faded. Silence followed. Total silence. Smoke drifted across continents. The hologram flickered, then stabilized. Mira stared at the readings, stunned. "Commander!" The first strike was weakened. Only 19% power. Rylan closed his eyes in relief. Earth survived. Barely. But before anyone could breathe, Lena screamed. "Commander, look!" A new alert flashed on every screen. Alien fleet recharging. Second strike in 2 hours. Full power expected. Rylan's heart sank. Lena whispered, voice breaking. "Kael'ren's disruption. It won't hold for a second attack." Mira turned pale. "Commander, what now?" Rylan looked at the screens, at his people at Earth, and he said, "We take the fight to them. We take the fight to them." Rylan's voice echoed across Earth Defense HQ. Everyone froze. It was a decision no one expected. Not after barely surviving the first attack. But Rylan's eyes were steady, sharp, focused. There was no fear left in him. Only purpose. Mira stepped closer. "Commander, are you saying we go into space? Against 12,000 warships?" "Yes," Rylan said, "because the Empire will fire again, and the second strike will destroy Earth. We cannot wait for death. We must stop them at the source." Lena adjusted her glasses with shaking hands. "But Commander, our ships are few. Our technology is much weaker. How can we reach their flagship?" Rylan turned to Dr. Iden. "Doctor, tell them." Iden cleared his throat. "Before the war began, we discovered something hidden under the Pacific Ocean. A structure. Ancient. Not human. It was inactive until the Empire's weapon hit the ocean earlier." Lena's eyes widened. "It activated?" "Yes," Iden said. "We believe it is an ancient starship. Bigger than any ship made by humans. And far more advanced." Mira frowned. "Where did it come from?" "That is the mystery," Iden replied. "But the readings show technology older than the Empire itself." Rylan looked at his team. Earth didn't know it had a weapon. Now it does. Mira let out a breath. "A hidden supership." Lena whispered, "This is our only chance." Rylan nodded. "We take command of that ship. We launch into space. We disrupt the Empire's weapon before it fires again." Everyone stared at him, no one speaking for several seconds. Finally, Mira nodded. "Then let's do it." Within minutes, Earth Defense HQ turned into a storm of movement. Orders were shouted. Soldiers rushed to prepare gear. Engineers carried cables, weapons, and equipment. Helicopters warmed their engines on rooftops. Rylan marched down the hall with Mira and Lena beside him. "Dr. Iden," he said, "prepare the submarine to reach the Pacific structure." "It's already being fueled," Iden replied. Lena asked, "Commander, what if the structure is a trap? What if it's unstable?" Rylan looked straight ahead. "Then we die trying." Mira gave a small smile. "At least we die fighting." But deep inside, each of them held a secret hope. Maybe Kael'ren was still alive. Maybe he had weakened the Empire enough for this plan to work. 3 hours later, the submarine broke through the dark waters of the Pacific Ocean. The sea was wild after the first alien blast. Waves crashed like giant walls. Lightning flashed across the sky, and thunder rolled above them. Rylan stood at the control panel, wearing a deep-sea suit. Mira and Lena stood beside him. Dr. Iden prepared scans. "Descending," he said. The submarine sank deeper and deeper. The light faded. The water turned black. Strange glowing fish swam past like stars in a dark sky. At 9,000 meters, the pressure became extreme. The walls creaked. The humans inside held their breath. Then, a dim blue glow appeared far below. Lena pressed her face to the window. "What is that?" Iden zoomed the cameras. They saw it, the ancient starship. It rested on the ocean floor like a sleeping giant. Its surface was smooth silver blue and covered in symbols glowing faintly. It was shaped like a colossal arrowhead, long and sharp. Light pulsed all around it like slow heartbeats. Mira gasped, "It's beautiful." "No," Rylan said quietly. "It's powerful." Iden activated the external speakers. "We are approaching the entrance." A circular door slowly opened on the starship, releasing a trail of bubbles. "It's inviting us inside," Lena whispered. Inside the ship, everything felt unreal. The corridors were made of smooth silver metal that responded to touch. When Rylan placed his hand on the wall, lines of glowing light followed his fingers. "It's alive," Mira whispered. Iden scanned. "It uses a biometal hybrid. The ship senses us." A deep hum vibrated through the floor, like a living creature awakening. Lights ignited one by one. A voice echoed softly through the ship, calm, ancient, and powerful. "Identify." Rylan stepped forward. "We are humans, defenders of Earth." Silence, then the voice spoke again. "Enemy ships detected above the planet. Weapon charging. Threat level, extinction." Mira whispered. "It knows about the Empire." Lena stepped closer. "Are you a warship?" "I am the Arkstar, created before the Empire existed, designed to protect young worlds." Rylan exchanged shocked looks with his team. Lena murmured, "A guardian ship?" Rylan stepped forward. "Arkstar, we need your help. The Empire will destroy our planet. We need to reach their flagship before they fire again." The ship hummed for a moment. Purpose confirmed. Defense protocol activated. The entire floor shifted, and the ship began to rise. Iden shouted, "It's taking us to the surface." Water roared outside as a massive vessel lifted itself effortlessly. The submarine was released gently back toward the ocean floor. The crew inside the Arkstar held on to glowing railings as the ship climbed faster and faster. Then it broke through the surface with a shock wave that sent water flying into the sky. The Arkstar hovered above the ocean, glowing brighter with every passing second. News spread around the world instantly. An alien ship has emerged from the Pacific. A massive artifact has taken flight. Earth has a warship. Every screen on Earth lit up with the same image, the silver-blue giant rising into clouds. Inside the cockpit, Rylan stepped onto the command platform. Panels formed around him automatically, shaped to fit human hands and height. The voice spoke again. "Commander Rylan." Pilot recognized. Rylan froze. "How do you know my name?" "Your signal. Your leadership. Your intent. The ship understands." Mira smiled. "It chose you." Lena whispered, "Commander Rylan, the Arkstar's captain." Rylan placed both hands on the glowing controls. "Arkstar, take us to space." The ship answered, launching. A deep vibration surged through the hull. The sky above them cracked with sound. Clouds spiraled downward. The ocean split beneath the ship. Then, the Arkstar shot upward at impossible speed. Atmosphere blurred. The sky darkened. Stars appeared. The Earth curved below them like a shining marble. And ahead, the Empire's 12,000 warships glowed like a second galaxy. Mira breathed. "We're in their territory now." But then all screens flashed red. Lena screamed, "Commander, the Empire detected US." A massive laser beam suddenly fired from the nearest alien ship straight toward the Arkstar. Rylan gripped the controls. "Arkstar, shield up." The blast hit, the ship shook, and then something unbelievable happened. The beam bent around the Arkstar, as if the ship was untouchable. Mira whispered with awe. It passed through us like we're not even material. Arkstar's voice echoed. Phase shield active. Enemy weapons ineffective. Ryland stared at the incoming fleet. Then let's break their circle. He pushed the controls forward. The Arkstar surged toward the alien armada at full speed, straight into the heart of 12,000 warships. The Arkstar shot forward like a silver comet, blazing through the darkness of space. Alien ships turned as it approached, their glowing weapons locked onto the incoming threat. Their engines roared like thunder across the void. But Ryland did not slow down. He kept his eyes fixed on the Empire's massive armada. His hands gripped the controls. His heart beat fast, but steady. Commander, Mira said breathlessly, we're flying straight into 10,000 guns. Not straight, Ryland replied. Through. The Arkstar's voice echoed through the cockpit. Phase shield stable. Enemy weapons cannot connect with this vessel, while phase mode is active. Lena whispered, amazed. This ship is beyond anything we've ever seen. Mira looked out at the glowing alien ships ahead. Let's hope it stays that way. The first alien destroyer fired a pulse beam. It passed straight through the Arkstar, like it was light hitting smoke. A second ship fired, then a third. Soon, dozens of beams shot at the Arkstar from every direction, but the phase shield distorted each blast, bending it harmlessly into space. Arkstar spoke calmly. Enemy attack ineffective. Proceeding. Ryland pushed the control forward harder. We need to reach their flagship. That's where the weapon core is. Lena pointed to a point on the holomap. Commander, the flagship is dead center, protected by hundreds of ships. Mira shook her head. They know we're coming. They should, Ryland said. We're their last problem. As they broke through the outer circle of the fleet, the alien ships shifted formation. Their engines glowed red. A booming voice echoed across every speaker inside the Arkstar. Humans, turn back. Your world is doomed. It was the Empire, their leader's voice. Cold, dark, filled with hate. Mira stiffened. They're scared, that's why they're shouting. No, Ryland said. They're angry because we're not scared. The alien voice thundered again. Your rebel ally has been captured. Kale Rin is dead. Ryland froze. Lena covered her mouth. Mira whispered, No, he can't be. Arkstar responded, voice sharp, statement inaccurate. Kale Rin is alive. Ryland's heart jumped. Where? Life signs detected inside the enemy flagship. Weak, but present. Mira gasped. He survived the node chamber. Lena smiled with relief. He's still fighting for us. The Empire's voice snarled again. You cannot win. Earth will be destroyed. Ryland lifted his chin. Not today. He hit the forward thruster. The Arkstar shot straight into the densest part of the alien fleet. Ships swarmed them, thousands of dark metal giants, turning like a living storm. Their weapons glowed brighter, supercharging for a second, stronger attack. But Arkstar didn't slow. In fact, it went faster, so fast the stars blurred. Lena held onto the console. Commander, I think the Arkstar's repairing something. It was. Because suddenly, the ship changed. The silver-blue hull expanded outward. Blades of light formed along its sides. A glowing symbol appeared beneath the cockpit. A symbol older than the Empire itself. Arkstar's voice deepened. Attack mode engaged. Mira shouted, Ryland, brace. Bracing. Ryland shouted back. A beam of pure white energy erupted from the Arkstar's front. Sharp, focused, unstoppable. It sliced the first alien ship in half. Then the second. Then the third. Alien destroyers broke apart, like clay figures hit by a storm. Fire and metal floated silently across space. Enemy ships panicked, trying to flee. They're falling back. Mira yelled. Lena leaned over her screen. Commander, look at this. The Arkstar's energy beam destabilizes their hulls instantly. It destroys their tech like it's made of paper. That, Ryland said, is our advantage. He steered the ship straight toward the Empire's flagship, a massive, glowing fortress the size of a city. The flagship loomed ahead, surrounded by a final wall of alien cruisers. Mira spoke quickly. "Commander, we need a plan. We can't destroy the flagship yet. Kale Rin is inside." "I know," Ryland said. "We disable it." Lena pointed at the glowing underside of the flagship. "That structure, the weapon core. If we hit that, the fleet loses its power network." Arkstar confirmed. "Correct. Destroying the central node disables all weapon systems." Ryland nodded. "Then that's our target." The alien cruisers formed a solid wall around their flagship. Weapons lit up. Ryland pushed the Arkstar forward. Arkstar phased through. The ship shimmered and passed straight through the alien cruisers like a ghost. The enemies fired wildly, beams slicing past empty space. Mira grinned. "They can't stop us." Lena hugged her laptop. "Commander, we're right on the flagship." Ryland stared at the massive glowing core above them, pulsing like a giant heartbeat. Arkstar, fire when ready. The beam fired. The entire flagship shook. Lights exploded across its hull. The glowing network lines snapped one by one, dimming the entire fleet. Alien communications screamed in chaos. Mira shouted, "The weapon core is collapsing." Lena stared wide-eyed at her readings. "Commander, all Empire weapon systems are offline." Ryland let out a breath of relief. But then, a sudden alert flashed. Arkstar warned. "Enemy flagship attempting to escape." Mira gasped. "They're leaving the battlefield." "No," Ryland said firmly. "Not until we get Kale Rin." He steered the Arkstar upward, straight toward the flagship's main docking bay. Inside the flagship, everything was chaos. Smoke filled the halls. Alarms blared. Soldiers ran everywhere. And at the far end of a dark corridor, Kale Rin lay on the floor, struggling to push himself up. His armor flickered. His breathing was shallow. But when he heard the explosion outside the ship, saw the lights dim, he smiled weakly. "They did it. Humans actually did it." His vision blurred. Footsteps thundered behind him. Alien soldiers approaching. But before they could reach him, the wall behind Kale Rin ripped open. A beam of silver-blue light sliced through the corridor. Ryland stepped through the smoke, Mira and Lena behind him. "Kale Rin!" Ryland shouted. Kale Rin looked up, barely conscious. You actually came." Mira knelt beside him. "We don't leave our friends." Kale Rin managed a small smile. "Then hurry, the Emperor is coming." A deep, rumbling voice echoed across the corridor. "You dare enter my ship?" Ryland turned, and there he stood, the Emperor, a towering alien figure with burning red eyes and armor, made of black crystal. Mira whispered, terrified, "Commander, he's huge." Kale Rin struggled to speak. "Be careful. He controls energy stronger than any ship." Ryland stepped forward, lifting his blaster. "We're ending this. Now." The Emperor raised his hand. Energy crackled. Space trembled. And the final battle began. The corridor shook as the Emperor stepped forward. His armor glowed with dark energy, each movement sending ripples through the air like waves of heat. His red eyes locked onto Ryland with cold anger. Mira and Lena froze. Kale Rin struggled to sit up, whispering, "He is stronger than any soldier, stronger than any machine. Be careful. He will not show mercy." Ryland tightened his grip on the blaster. He felt fear, yes, but also something stronger. Determination. "You're done," Ryland said. "The fleet is falling. Your weapon is gone. Your core is destroyed." The Emperor's voice rumbled like distant thunder. "You think that matters? I do not need a fleet to destroy you." He raised one massive hand. Dark energy gathered in his palm, black, swirling, dangerous. Mira stepped closer to Ryland. "Commander, what do we do?" "Fight," Ryland said. "Fight." Lena whispered. "Against that?" Ryland didn't look away from the Emperor. "We didn't come this far to run now." The Emperor hurled a blast of dark energy. Ryland pushed Mira and Lena aside and dove to the ground as the beam ripped through the metal floor. Sparks exploded. The shockwave threw everyone backward. Kale Rin coughed weakly. He draws energy from the ship itself. The flagship feeds him power. Lena shouted over the noise. Then we need to disconnect him. Cut his source. Mira pointed at the glowing walls. Commander, the cables. They're channeling energy to him. Rylan fired at the walls. Blue sparks flew as the energy tube shattered. The Emperor roared. You dare! He charged forward. His fist slammed into the floor where Rylan stood just seconds ago, leaving a deep crater. Mira screamed, Rylan! Rylan rolled away, firing at the Emperor's shoulder, doing nothing. The blast bounced off his armor. He's too strong, Rylan muttered. We need a new plan. Kale Rin struggled to his feet. His armor flickered, lights dimming. His energy is old, but not infinite, Kale Rin said. You must overload him. How? Lena asked. Kale Rin pointed weakly toward the main reactor chamber at the end of the corridor. A huge, glowing sphere pulsed there, bright white, unstable. That reactor powers the entire flagship, Kale Rin said. If you open it, its energy will rush toward the Emperor. He will try to absorb it, but it is too much. It will destroy him. Myra's eyes widened. And what about us? Kale Rin hesitated. You must escape before it explodes. Rylan nodded once. Understood. The Emperor stepped forward, each footstep shaking the floor. There is no escape. Your world burns today. Rylan looked at Mira and Lena. Run for the reactor. I'll distract him. What? Mira shouted. No. You'll die. Go. Rylan commanded. The Emperor swung his arm, releasing another violent blast. Rylan jumped aside, barely avoiding it. Mira grabbed Lena's hand. Come on. They sprinted toward the glowing reactor chamber. The Emperor turned to follow them. Rylan fired at the back of his head. Hey! Over here! The Emperor whirled around with fury. Insignificant human. Rylan dodged another attack. Metal twisted from the impact. He could feel the heat from the dark energy blast on his skin. Sweat dripped from his forehead. His breath came fast. But he kept going, buying time. Inside the reactor chamber, Mira and Lena reached a massive glowing sphere. Its surface rippled with unstable light, humming louder with each passing second. It's overheating, Lena said. If we open it wrong, it might explode immediately. How do we open it right? Mira asked. Lena swallowed hard. We need Kale Rin. They turned. Kale Rin staggered into the chamber, leaning on the wall. His armor was cracked. Blood dripped down his cheek. But he still stood. I'm here, he said weakly. Let's end this. Mira helped him reach the reactor controls. The console blinked with ancient symbols. Kale Rin touched them one by one. The reactor pulsed. Lena watched nervously. Kale Rin, once we open it, what do we do? You run, Kale Rin said. Do not look back. His hand hovered over the final control. Back in the corridor, Rylan wasn't doing well. His blaster ran out of charge. He tossed aside and grabbed a metal pipe from the wall. It wasn't a weapon, but it was something. The Emperor laughed. You fight with scraps? Pathetic. Rylan wiped sweat from his brow. You talk too much. He swung the pipe. The Emperor blocked it easily and threw Rylan across the hallway. Rylan hit the wall hard. Pain shot through his ribs. His vision blurred. He heard the Emperor's heavy footsteps approaching. Closer. Closer. Commander! Mira shouted from the reactor chamber. We're ready. Rylan forced himself to his feet. One last trick, he whispered. Kale Rin touched the final symbol on the console. The reactor groaned. The air vibrated. Light shot through the walls. Mira looked terrified. Kale Rin, we need to go. Kale Rin grabbed her arm. Now! They ran out of the chamber, dashing into the corridor. Rylan! Lena screamed. The Emperor turned toward them just as they reached Rylan's side. Rylan pushed Mira and Lena behind him. Do it, he shouted. Kale Rin nodded and slapped his palm on a glowing panel near the door. The reactor chamber seals pulled open. Boom! A blast of white light burst out like a flood. The Emperor turned, surprised. "What are you?" The energy rushed toward him like a tidal wave. He extended his arms to absorb it. His armor glowed. His eyes burned brighter. For a moment, he grew stronger. Then, cracks started forming across his body. Light leaked through them. His roar turned into a scream. No, impossible. His form exploded into shards of black crystal that floated into the air like ash. The Emperor was gone, completely destroyed, but the reactor kept shaking. Lena gasped. "The flagship is collapsing." Mira grabbed Kael'ren as he collapsed again. "We need to get out." Rylan ran toward the docking bay. "Arcstar, we need extraction now." The ceiling cracked open. The Arcstar swooped inside the ship, grabbing them with a beam of light. The world around them shook violently. The flagship exploded behind them, a massive fireball expanding through space. The shockwave pushed the Arcstar, but the ship held steady. When the light finally faded, the alien flagship was gone. The Empire's fleet, leaderless and damaged, drifted apart like broken glass. Lena whispered, tears in her eyes. We won." Mira hugged Kael'ren tightly. "It's over." Rylan stared at her below, scarred but alive. He exhaled slowly. "No," he said softly. "It's not over yet." Mira looked up. "What do you mean?" Rylan pointed at the distant stars. "The Empire will send others someday. We need to be ready." Kael'ren nodded weakly. "And I will help you. Earth does not stand alone anymore." The Arcstar hummed, as if agreeing with him. The war was won, but the future was just beginning. Commander Rhea did not move for several seconds. Her eyes stayed locked on the hidden console that Dr. Malik had uncovered. The faint red light from the secret device blinked slowly, like a heartbeat. Outside the bridge window, the alien warship still waited, silent, cold, dangerous. Everyone in the command deck felt the same fear. Dr. Malik finally spoke. It was sending a signal, but I don't know to who. Captain Orion stepped closer, his voice tense. "Can you trace it?" Malik shook his head. "The signal is too advanced. It uses a code far beyond our system. It is not human." A heavy silence filled the room. Lieutenant Carroll whispered, "Then someone or something has been inside our system for years." Rhea's voice was steady, but her hands tightened around the edge of the console. "We need to know what this signal is sending." Captain Orion nodded. "Start decoding it. Use everything we have." Malik turned back to the device, fingers moving fast, but his face grew more worried with each passing second. "This is impossible," he said quietly. "It's rewriting itself." "Rewriting?" Kara asked. Malik nodded. "The code changes every second. It adapts. I think this device is alive." Everyone froze at the word. Alive? Before anyone could question him, the lights flickered again. The ship hummed with a vibration none of them had felt before. Deep, unnatural, almost like a voice. Rhea looked around sharply. "Did you hear that?" They all had. It was faint, distant, but clear enough to send a chill through their bodies. A whisper. It sounded alien. Captain Orion turned toward the main screen. "Open the external audio sensors." Kara hesitated. "Sir, what if the aliens are—" "Do it," he ordered. She pressed a button. The whisper grew louder. It wasn't coming from outside the ship. It was coming from inside. Malik stepped away from the device, his face pale. "The signal has activated something. It is no longer sending, it is receiving." Rhea swallowed hard. "Receiving from where?" Malik lifted a shaky hand and pointed upward. "The alien fleet." The words hit everyone like a punch. Rhea stepped beside him. "So this device is a bridge, a connection between us and the fleet." Malik nodded. "I think this is how they found Earth." The whispering stopped suddenly. Then a single voice filled the bridge. Cold, deep, inhuman. "Human vessel, we have been waiting." Kara jumped from her chair. "Oh my God!" Orion shouted. "Identify yourself." The voice responded instantly. "We are the Harkonnen, the Ancient Watchers. You have something that belongs to us." Rhea felt her heartbeat accelerate. "What do you mean?" Return the beacon. Surrender the world. And your extinction will be painless. Everyone stared at the blinking device. Beacon. So that was its true name. Rhea stepped forward. We will not surrender Earth, she said firmly. For a moment, there was only silence. Then the alien voice spoke again, calm and cold. Then watch your sky. The main screen flickered and showed something terrifying. The alien fleet was moving. All 12,000 warships were slowly shifting formation, creating a massive ring around the planet. Lights appeared on the ships, red, glowing, pulsing like weapons charging. Kara gasped. They're preparing to fire. Orion shouted, raise shields. All systems to defense. Alarms exploded across the ship. Malik suddenly grabbed Rhea's arm. Commander, wait, look. The beacon was glowing bright red now. Its surface cracked like it was waking up. Rhea stepped closer. What is it doing? Malik's voice shook. It's reacting to something. But I don't think it's responding to the alien fleet. Rhea looked confused. Then what is it responding to? Malik took a deep breath. The beacon is responding to something on Earth. Everyone froze. Rhea spoke slowly. You mean something on Earth is connected to this? Malik nodded. Yes, something powerful, something ancient. The entire ship jolted violently, systems flickering, panels sparking. Kara yelled, we're being scanned. Orion shouted, by the fleet? Kara shook her head. No, sir, the scan is coming from Earth. A deadly silence filled the bridge. Malik stared at the glowing beacon. I think the beacon is not calling aliens to Earth. It is calling something beneath Earth. Rhea's voice was barely a whisper. What could be under Earth's surface that even aliens fear? Malik turned slowly, his face pale as ice. Something that we were never meant to awaken. Before anyone could react, the entire ship's power cut out. Everything turned black. Only the beacon remained glowing, pulsing like a heart, casting a red light across their terrified faces. Then a new message echoed through the bridge. Not from the aliens. From Earth. We are awake. The ship shook as if some titanic force below the planet was moving, rising. Rhea grabbed the console to stay upright. What is waking up? Malik answered with a trembling voice. I don't know, but whatever it is, the aliens fear more than they fear us. A deep rumble echoed from the planet below. Something was coming. Something ancient. Something powerful enough to challenge 12,000 alien warships. And as the bridge lights came back on for one brief second, Rhea looked at the planet and saw the clouds twisting in a massive spiral, as if something was breaking through. The last thing they heard before the power cut again was the alien voice, now filled with fear. Humanity, you do not understand what you awaken.